hope you're having a great day. I'm glad to see y'all. Hope you had a wonderful weekend, a great Father's Day. I feel very crooked and I can't figure out what the problem is here. But I hope y'all had a really good weekend. I'm really glad to see you all. I hope you had a good Father's Day. We had a really great Father's Day. We did ribs and had potato salad and coleslaw and baked beans and pasta salad and 7-layer salad and just all kinds of things. And it was delicious. So it was a really good weekend. So I hope the same to y'all. We are going to make over some little jam jars. I don't really know. I can't remember what these came off of. They came off of something. And I don't, for the life of me, remember what it was that they came off of. But you can see they have like a hot glue on the back where string has been attached. And so they were on something. But they're the cutest little things. And they're super cute as they are. But I do want to give them a makeover. We're going to change them up quite a bit, because the colors is just not working for me. And so I just want to do something different. Okay, so that's the plan. We're going to just change these up, make them super cute, and use our tags from our craft paper from this month to embellish them a little bit. So I think they're going to be really adorable. So when you hop on, say hello, let me know you're watching. Let me see who we've got joining me today, y'all. I have been on babysitting duty today. So anyways, I've been on babysitting duty today. I've had my niece all day. And so it's been a fun day. I've got her again tomorrow. So fun. There's a fuzz. Hi, Debbie. Hey, Linda. Hey, Dorothy. Hello, Lori. Happy Monday. Hi, Dale. Hey, Jennifer. Hey, Rosemary. Hi, Danae. Hey, Teresa. It was a good weekend, Teresa. I hope yours was too. Hey, Carol. Hi, Danae. Hey, Jenny. Went to Michigan. Fun. My hubby is very ill, so we didn't celebrate. I'm so sorry to hear that. Hi, Sandy. Hey, Donna. Hey, Glenda. You're so welcome, Lori. Hi, Nancy. Hey, Gina. I'm glad to see all of y'all today. Thank you for joining me. So we're going to start by, I'm going to remove these little bows that are on here, and then I'm also going to try and remove some of this off of the back. Let me get my paint scraper, which is sitting over here. So we're going to try and get some of this stuff removed, and then we're going to sand these down a little bit too, in order to prep them for paint. And we're just going to paint these, mostly just the bottom, because we're going to be covering the top part is the plan with fabric. So we'll see how that turns out. So I'm just going to warm this up, this glue, and try and just scrape this off. Hello, Carol. Okay, let's see if that, there we go. Look at that. Beautiful. Just scrape that right off, nice and clean. Do the other two. Maybe I can do them at the same time. Oh, I'm so glad to hear it, Glenda. I'm glad you liked it. We had grape salad too. Griffin wanted that. And my aunt made a sugar-free cheesecake for him, so he was super happy. Super happy. I am, Cody. Hi, Cindy. All right. Let's see if these are not warm enough yet. Let's keep going. Thank you for sprinkling, Cindy. That means so much to me. That's such a big help. So thank you. Okay, there we go. Yeah, it's sort of disgusting. Okay, so now we've got to just get these little bows off of the front. This one already doesn't have the bow. Sandy, she is about 1.5 years. She turned 1 in January. So, January? Yeah, I think it's January. Okay, so we've got our blank jars now. And we're just going to take our sander to these. And I want to sand the fronts of these because they've got a little bit of raised areas where the dots are. And so I just want to sand that down to make that nice and flat. It'll also make it easier to cover this if we can sand some of this off. Now I'm not trying to sand all the way up. But just kind of like that is going to help make the next layer of paint look good. Hey, Jackie. Okay, last one. All right. There we go. Let me just get this cleaned up real quick. Oops, daisies. All right. So we're going to paint these. And we're going to do 3 different colors. So we're going to do, I've got some fabrics over here. So these are kind of like the colors that I'm going to be using for this. The same colors of my craft paper from this month. So yellow, green, and a light blue. So I think we're going to go with winter blue for one of them. We're going to start there. Yay, Lori. I can't wait to see how they look. So I'm not painting, you know what, I am just going to go on and paint all the way up because just in case whatever fabric I use is a little bit transparent. We'll just go on and paint it all so that the fabric doesn't see through. You can't see through the fabric. These were probably handmade. They're super duper cute. All right, let me dry this and then we'll get this other part. Hi, Trish. And I probably don't have to do 2 coats on the top. So we're going to hide that. These, when we're done, will be cute, just like little bowl fillers or to your tray, just sitting around in a hutch or something like that. Alrighty. Okay, so there's our blue. So I'm just going to let this dry. Okay, we just got a nice coat. Now it kind of looks like ice cream, doesn't it? I see ice cream on there too. Okay, so now we need to do a yellow, which, oh man, is probably going to be difficult. I'm going to start with golden yellow. And I'm going to add some white to it. This is warm white. When I say it's going to be difficult, I mean it's going to be hard to get it to cover. What I might need to do is do a coat of something first and then come back like gray and then come back with the yellow. So I need a lot more white than that. That is still way too bright. And I think I need some raw umber in here too. I want just a nice buttery yellow. And I'm going to add just a tiny little bit of raw umber. Hopefully I didn't add too much. Okay. No, I didn't add too much. That's good. All right, I think I want to add a tiny little bit of red to it. So I'm just going to put a little red over here because I don't want to get too much. And I'm just going to dip my brush into the red. We'll see if this makes any difference. I'm not sure it's going to. So let me grab a little bit more than that. Just want to warm it up a little bit. I'm glad y'all are looking forward to our Table Talk Tuesday. All right, this feels like a good yellow. It feels right. Paper towel. Find a paper towel. Here we are. Okay. It feels good. I do feel like it needs some more red though. I'm just gonna add a little right from the bottle. Okay, there we are. That's what I'm looking for. Beautiful. I'm going to test this and see if this is going to cover. With all those other colors in it, the white and the raw umber, it might do okay. I'm going to use this one though. So let's see how it does. I think it's going to be okay. It's still going to be easier, I think, than starting with gray and then painting multiple coats over that. I'm still going to have to do multiple coats, but it's like, do you do 3 coats of yellow or do you do a coat of gray and 2 coats of yellow? You know, sometimes that's where I'm at. Sometimes it does really benefit to do the gray first All right. Here's our yellow, which is a really pretty, just buttery yellow. Which happens to be very popular right now, by the way. I will be praying for your friend. Hi, Tamara. Like I said, I'm going to do the top two just in case. I don't want things showing through when I put the fabric on. I love this light blue and yellow together. I think this combination is just so beautiful. I would say this is probably enough coats for the top. So we just need to get more on the bottom. I still need another coat at least. All right, that's looking good. Okay. There we go. So the yellow is done. I'm going to set that aside to dry, and let's go now on to the green. So I'm going to start with Hauser Light Green, which is pretty dang close. I think I'm going to add a little bit of this blue to it, the winter blue. It's a little too yellow, I think. And even probably a little light. I'm going to add a smidgen more. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Jackie. That's no good. Okay, this looks good. All right, so we got this pretty green. So we just did Hauser Light Green, and we mixed Winter Blue with it to get this pale green. So we've got these three beautiful colors. Look how pretty those are. All right, let me see. I'm not liking these two brushes. They still look too dirty. Let me see if I got a different one down here. It's going to be a little cleaner. Let's try this one. I feel like the green should cover pretty well. remember this color scheme, the green, the hunter green, and the burgundy, and the navy blue. It has kind of come back, but in a completely different way. I keep wondering if it's going to come back like it used to be with the plaid, you know, and like my mom was all into the chickens. Y'all, Celebration of the Bluegrass 2027 is going to be announced pretty soon, where you can purchase your early bird tickets. I am really excited about our presenters. We don't have them all confirmed yet, but we have two, and I'm really excited about those two. So it's going to be really good, and so I'm really excited about it, and I think that you all will be too. So make sure you keep your eye out. Again, it's going to be April 16th and 17th next year in Lexington, Kentucky. So make sure you start, putting back some money for it and just kind of plan for it, because it's coming. Hi, Stacy. Well, I just got yellow paint on this, but it's all right because that part's going to be covered anyways. All right, let me just give this a little bit more paint. I want another coat on the front, I think. All right, so all our little jars are painted. Look how pretty those colors are. Okay, so here we go. Let's see. I do think that I want to I'm trying to decide. Do I want to add a little bit of, I can't decide. Let's put the fabric on first and then we'll decide. Okay, so I'm not 100% sure if I want to do different colors on each of them. So like, do I want to do green on the yellow and maybe yellow on the blue? And then, like blue on green, or do I want to do the same color? So do, the green on the green, the yellow on the yellow, and the blue on the blue. So you all tell me, what do you think? Should I keep them all in one color, or should I mix them up? Because I've also got, of course, our little tags that we're going to use. And so we can do the opposite tag. So if we did the yellow on the blue, then we could do the green tag, which I don't love, or we can do all the same color. So Kelly says matching colors. Okay. I think feeling the same as y'all. I want to keep the colors together, I think. You know what? Let's add some raw umber to the edges. Let's do that. That'll be cute. Before we add our fabric, we'll do a little raw umber on the edge. So I'm just going to take a sponge with my raw umber, remove some of it, and then I am just going to rub this on the edges. Just like this. Okay, just like that. Just a little bit of sort of distressing on those edges. You could also use your ink and your ink blending tool. I just think the paint does better on painted surfaces and the ink does better on paper. All right, that's cute. Okay, so we got to figure out this fabric and how we're going to do this. So the first thought is, oh, we'll just cut like an oval, fold it over and tie it. That's, of course, the first thought. Let's start with blue, and I've got to decide which color, which fabric I'm going to use. I'm not going to use this one because it looks too, I think I'm going to go with this stripe. It looks really good with it. So let me just cut a piece of this off. So I've got something a little smaller to work with here. Yay, Jackie, that's so exciting. I bet it was packed. So what we could do is we can take the torn edge and I'm thinking we sort of gather it up a little bit and just kind of glue it right onto the front, and then we'll just sort of bring everything else around to the back is sort of what I'm thinking. I don't know if that's going to work or not, but that's sort of where my head is at. So I'm going to take my hot glue gun. I've got my temperature on high. I really should replace my tip though, to put on the regular size tip. Which I don't know where is at. Stick it in here. There it is. Okay. So let's do that really quick because I'm going to need a little bit more hot glue than what's going to come out of this precision tip. Okay. There we go. Brand new Buc-ee's. Okay, so I'm going to take my, I might have to wait for this tip to warm up now. Let me cut some pieces of my other fabric, get those ready. This is a green that's got this kind of little bit of floral pattern going on. I'm going to tear a raw edge, and then again, just tear a smaller piece for me to work with. Let's make sure we have a nice frayed edge. Let's do that with this one too. Okay, and then for the yellow, I'm going to use this yellow vintage fabric that was in our vintage fabric bundles, which we do still have, by the way. If you're interested in some vintage fabric, this is a beautiful one. It's definitely one of my I can't imagine 114 degrees. Did anyone get bad storms last night? We got a lot of storms last night. Yeah, it's only 77 degrees here today. Okay, let's try it now. We're going to add right at the bottom here, I'm going to put a pretty hefty line of hot glue. And then I'm going to take my fabric, I'm going to lay it directly on to that hot glue. I'm not going to press it down. I'm going to just pinch right in the middle and just pinch that fabric going all the way out to the edge. Okay, so we have something like that. Y'all got storms too, Jackie? It was some pretty wild storms. Thankfully, nothing damaging, but okay. So now I'm just gonna wrap this around. I think I'm gonna go ahead and add some hot glue. Again, doing kind of a thick amount, and I'm just gonna keep pinching that all the way around the edge. So it looks like it's gathered all the way around. Okay, and then, so this is what we've got. I'm just going to tack this on the back side. And I'm just going to pull this and just kind of start cutting. Just kind of pulling this over and just cutting around it. As I pull it around. Okay, so we have this right now. And we're just going to start just gluing this to the back side. So I'm just going to take my hot glue, put this right around the edge like that, and then just start bringing this over, making sure that it's not, you know, perfect. We want it to be sort of gathered and stuff. Trim that excess off. Okay. Look how cute that is. Okay, let's do the others the same way. So let's take our yellow. Just right at this little base here, I'm putting a hefty squirt of glue. Lay my fabric directly on, kind of centering it, and then I'm just going to start just pinching the fabric all along. And repeat that around the edges. I bet you would. I tell you, it's so funny how, you know, it doesn't feel like we're that far away from each other, but yet the climates are still so different, you know? You know, in comparison to like Australia or China, you know, we're just, it seems like we're not that far from each other, but it does make a big difference. All right, so let's pull this in and we're just going to trim. There we go. And I'm just sort of gathering it around as I pull it in. It's definitely good to have your glue gun on high when you're doing this, because you want it to stay warm long enough so that you can play with it. You're right, Christine. Okay, last one. Hey, April. All right. Okay, let's trim. Okay, here we go. Last one. Okay. Here we go. All right, so we've got all of them with our fabric on. They are looking so cute, y'all. How cute are those? So we're going to grab some jute or any kind of ribbon that you would like to use. So I could use jute or I could use baker's twine. Either one would be cute. If I had baker's twine in all the colors, that would be adorable, but I don't. I only have the yellow. So I just kind of want to see which one I like the best. So we're going to just planning on just kind of tying this like that. Let me see how the jute looks. So of course, I'll have to use yellow on all of them, or I have to use the jute. I like the jute, so let's go with the jute. Okay, and then we're gonna take our tags, these tags right here from our craft paper subscription from this month, and we're gonna cut them out. Okay. So let me just get these cut out. They're not going to be perfect, but I'm probably going to distress them anyways, so they don't have to be perfect. You could even do this with your real jam that you have. This would even be cute for that. Y'all, this is going to be so cute. Okay, let me grab my hole punch. Let's make our little hole punch. And let me get my ink blender. And I'm going to use walnut stain. It's going to match the raw umber. I'm just going to take that around the edges of my tag. Oops. Okay. And then we're just going to take a piece of jute, wrap this around. I'm going to tie over here to the left side a knot. And then we'll slide our little tag on. And I'm just going to add a little bit of hot glue just to kind of hold that. And then, of course, we're going to put a little bow with our jute. And we've got a super cute little jam jar makeover. That is just precious. Yeah, you could use the paper distresser too. I think that would be really fun also. All right, let's do the blue now. Okay. Let's get the edge of this distressed. I just thought I could probably even move this up a little bit and sort of tack it down. So that more of the fabric shows if you wanted to. Okay, let me tack this. Okay. Here's the blue. And last is the yellow, which is my favorite. Get it cut out. Okay. Last one. There we go. All right. These turned out really cute. I mean, they were cute before. They're super cute now. And a little bit more modern as well. Okay. There we are. Hey, Michelle, thank you. So here's our 3 little jam jars. This is how they turned out. Aren't they precious? You could even take your pounce or your what's this called, ink blender, and just very gently go over. I like that. Y'all know I like things distressed. I can't help it. You could just go over those to just add a little bit of distressing to that fabric and kind of get those crinkles and stuff. And that looks super cute. To just kind of take it a step further. So these are just some little wooden cutouts that I had in my stash that I think came from a thrift store. And we just painted them all solid colors and then used fabric to create the covered lid. And then we just added some ribbon or some jute and our tags from this month's Celebrate and Create Paper Club. And they turned out absolutely adorable. Love how these came out. So, all right, y'all. Well, that's all I have for you today. If you're interested in joining the Craft Paper Club and getting designs like this, plus many more, remember you get these tags, but there are so many other designs within that group that go with these tags. So it's really worth the value. It's $5 for your first month. And $10 after that. You can comment craft paper if you're interested, and we'll send you a link for more information that you can check out. All right. Yeah, if you missed what they looked like before, they were hunter green and burgundy and hand painted. Super cute, but we just went a little bit of it with them. So, all right, y'all. Well, I love you guys. Thank you for hanging out with me. I'll see y'all back here tomorrow for Table Talk Tuesday. Bye, everybody.